Okay, hope you can see me and my little models here that I'm going to show you. When I first started building, I didn't know any better, and I just copied the what Kamaka were doing on their instruments, because that's what was required of me. And these instruments, imagine we've got a central hole here, not a twin puka, not two holes, there's a central hole here. We have a bridge plate, which I forgot to put on the first two instruments that I made, and the bridge flew off, not surprisingly. Bridge plate. Now, my bridge plates originally started about that size, and I'll come to this elongated bridge plate conundrum in a minute. Then there used to be a brace across the waist, a brace to support the fingerboard at the top there, and obviously the sound hole went in the middle there, and then 3 fan braces like that. So much like a classical guitar. Now there are lots of configurations you can use. That is the most common, and I fiddled around with the size of the braces and all sorts of things over time. And I made probably about 600 ukuleles with this type of bracing. So. Then when I came to do the Legacy, the Revelator, I needed to look at something slightly different. And so we had still the top brace, but then I developed this idea. I had a solid patch in the centre there, and 2 long braces coming down to the bottom. That was my second configuration. Again, you can do it any way you want to. What I wanted was a very, very stiff area around the sound hole to emphasise the bass response, and a simple form of bracing that would work. And at this point I was cutting them out on the CNC, as you can see, very precisely like that. Now, the idea of that reverse V bracing was an idea which I got from looking at Andy Powers of the Taylor organisation, and he was really looking at a new form of bracing, which I can't remember what he calls it. But about 3 months ago, I did this. All instruments that were produced by the Chicago guys had what can only be described as ladder bracing. Ladder bracing is very obvious. It just goes up the instrument like that. And you know what? It produced the most amazing sounding instrument out. It shouldn't have done, because ladder bracing was used for very cheap guitars. Some guitars had very thick fronts, like 3mm thick, and the front on a guitar should be probably about 2.8, 2.6, 2.8 millimeters. And this front was 3.2, and it had no bracing at all. And you don't need any bracing when you've got a really thick front like that. And it sounded really quite sweet as a guitar. Wouldn't work on ukulele. So what I've done is I've developed this ladder bracing, which this is the second instrument I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to see how it is, because by gum, when you actually make a reverse V or any type of V or fan brace, you have to notch the brace so that it goes over and fits neatly the bridge patch. That is a time-consuming job. So I've got rid of that as a time constraint. For the back of these instruments, I'm trying something completely different. We've got a situation where the back is radiused into a 12-foot radius, and that 12-foot radius is from the centre. So I thought, well, why not have an X brace? So I'm going to try and experiment with having an X brace. Probably sit there, something like that. I need to do a little bit of trimming and work on it, but yeah, probably sit in it like that. And just, we'll see how that goes, because all I'm needed to do is to hold this into a sphere, and a bar here and a bar there, with one in the centre maybe. I don't want to be fiddling with that. And it takes so little time. I have a special jig which I can sand these, so this is sanded to 12-foot radius. This is all ready to go, but it won't go on yet. I've got to get the linings in, and I've got to do the glue the braces up on the back and front, and do a few other things with the bracing. So what it boils down to is, I don't think it matters what you put on the front of your instrument. You can casher brace it, you can ladder brace it, you can cross brace it. I've got one over there, cross brace, I'm going to try out. You can do anything you like, as long as it stops the front from distorting, because that's what you need to do. Now what this ladder bracing, the way I've developed it, which is, there's quite a number of braces there, but they are thin. They're going to be shaped so that they are thin and triangular. And another thing that they will be is very light, and the front very thin. And I expect there to be lots and lots of volume from this, because at the end of the day, a ukulele is about volume. It's not about tone, it's not about being a very complex sounding instrument. It's just one thing, bang in your face. Volume, sound, sweetness coming out of it. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm experimenting. I've not done this before on ukulele, and it'll be interesting to see. So hey ho, and away we go.